Hey, this is Smokin' Dave, and you're listening to a man whose butt cheeks are not even as close to as firm as mine. It's the Kevin Friedman Show.
Hey now, it's Friday, May 11th, and another SportsGossip.com podcast is on the air. I'm your host, Kevin Friedman, along with my announcer, Smokin' Dave, and together we will bring you 10 of the hottest stories off the SportsGossip.com website. Dave, I'll take my butt cheeks over yours any day of the week. Now give us that first story.
An all-out brawl erupts at English Horse Track.
When it comes to fans fighting in the stands, we here at the SportsGossip.com podcast span the globe, and we found a good one at the Goodwood Racecourse in Chichester, West Suffolk. A group of about 20 to 30 drunk guys were squaring off and throwing haymakers, landing left and right. It was a battle royal, and you could check out the videos at SportsGossip.com. This was a crazy fight. As soon as one guy connected on a punch, it seemed like another guy came in out of nowhere and knocked that guy out. And on and on. In one of the videos, one of the guys punches a guy out to the ground, and when he's on the ground unconscious, a guy kicks him in the head. Now that's a scumbag move. You don't see too many fights like this where it's a huge group of guys and nobody can protect themselves. And basically the only way not to get hit in this fight is to run into the circle, jack somebody, and then run out as fast as you can. Now you can see security in this video watching the fight and doing nothing about it. And I can't say I blame them. There's just too many guys flying around throwing punches. When all was said and done, 6 men left needing medical treatment, and amazingly, no arrests were made. Again, you can go to sportsgossip.com to watch the videos of these fights. And remember, when there's a fight in the stands at a sporting event, you can count on this podcast to be all over it. Dave, what's next?
Detroit Lions receiver Marvin Jones calls out Darren Rovell for being a weirdo.
Well, after this story, Marvin just became my favorite non-Chicago Bear in the NFL. Long story short, Jones went on Twitter to promote his new business that he opened with his wife, which is a cake shop called Nothing Bundt Cakes. And Rovell went on Twitter to criticize him for buying into a franchise instead of opening his own shop. Jones fired right back at him with a series of tweets. You can read the whole exchange on sportsgossip.com. Now, I don't know Darren Rovell personally, but there's something about this guy that just rubs me the wrong way. A couple months ago, he was at the Atlanta Hawks game for some stupid promotion where he took on Hot Sauce one-on-one and he made a complete fool of himself. He showed how bad of an athlete he is and dressed like a total idiot. And now after he criticized Jones and Jones put up a bunch of valid points defending himself, he went with the weasel move of, "Oh, I wasn't talking about you," which he clearly was.
I also hate guys like that. In fact, Darren Rovell, I'm throwing out the challenge right now. You and me, a mud wrestling ring, naked. Let's get it on.
There you go, Rovell. Challenge issued. Dave, what's next?
Kurt Warner talked about making a comeback at 46.
The St. Louis Cardinals held Kurt Warner Day at Busch Stadium the other day, and Warner sat down with the Cardinals broadcast team and told a story about how he called an NFL coach this year and told him he was considering coming back if he's interested. He went on to say the team went out and signed another quarterback a couple days later, so obviously they weren't. Now, Warner retired in 2010, and if I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan, this story infuriates me because that team was very good when he left them. And for the next 3 or 4 years after he left, that team remained good, but never had a quarterback to get him over the top, which Warner easily could have been. So to hear he wants to come back now has got to piss you off if you're a Cardinals fan. Now, in a league where Blake Bortles can lead you to the playoffs, you wouldn't think it would be crazy for a 48-year-old Kurt Warner to make a comeback. But if he wanted to play, he should have played for the Cardinals 5 years ago. Dave, what's next?
David Price got carpal tunnel syndrome from playing Fortnite?
Price missed his start versus the Yankees the other night and was sent back to Boston for tests after experiencing numbness in his pitching hand during a bullpen session. Manager Alex Cora said he does not know what caused the injury, but plans to sit down with Price to discuss cutting down on Xbox time, which could be the reason for the injury. Supposedly, he's a big fan of the game Fortnite, which personally I don't get. I mean, I like Xbox. I play hockey all the time. I watched my nephew play Fortnite. It looks like the stupidest game I've ever seen. I don't get why everybody likes this game. It looks like a game for 10-year-olds. If Price got carpal tunnel syndrome playing RBI baseball or Madden or hockey, that's one thing. But to get it playing Fortnite, that's embarrassing. Dave, you ever play any video games?
Does virtual reality porn count as video games?
I guess so.
Then I play 'em all the time. In fact, I can relate to David Price. I once played so much I got carpal penis syndrome.
Yeah, that VR porn will do that to you. What's next?
Eli Manning doesn't want Giants rookies on their phones or playing video games.
Well, it's a good thing David Price doesn't play for the Giants. The 37-year-old told Page Six he wants the rookies working hard, and he'll be watching to see if they're on their phones or playing video games at night. Now, I don't know how he plans to do the video game thing. Is he going to hide in the bushes and stare at them through the window? Now, he could just check their gamer tags to see if they're online, but they could go invisible. Anyways, Eli's sounding like more of a coach than a teammate, and it looks like Saquon Barkley and all his rookie teammates will have to have their heads on swivels whenever Eli's around.
Did Eli mention whether he was banning virtual reality porn as well?
No, Dave, that was not in the article. Sorry. All right, that's 5 stories down, 5 to go. We got to take a break because it's time for the debut of Ivan Babushka's Dining Emporium's new theme song. Ivan says he spared no expense to get the best writer in the business, Mr. Gangnam Style himself, Psy. So I'm excited to hear it. We'll be back after this.
Milosh, Ivan Babushka has the best matrushka. We also have a bathroom inside the restaurant. So when you come to Ivan's, you no longer have to go outside and defecate in the woods.
Okay, we're back. Dave, you better get Ivan on the phone. I think he got ripped off by Psy. But before you do, give us that next story.
Russell Westbrook doing his best to get Paul George to stay in OKC.
You can go to sportsgossip.com to watch a video of Westbrook and Paul George paintballing last weekend. Looks like Westbrook is doing his best to keep Paul George in Oklahoma City. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If he's smart, he goes after George and LeBron James. LeBron's most likely going to lose in the finals again, and he owes Cleveland nothing. He hates the owner, and I expect him to be gone. And while he might be going to a tougher conference, he's going to have one of the best players in the league on his team with Russell Westbrook. And if they could keep Paul George, they're easily the favorites to me. Dave, you ever been paintballing?
All the time. I'm in a nude paintball league on Thursday nights.
Why is every league you're in nude? And who paintballs nude? What if you get hit in the nuts?
That's a risk real paintballers are willing to take.
You give us the next story.
Alleged topless selfie of WWE diva Nikki Bella leaked.
Hey now, I've never heard of Nikki Bella before this story, but now I'm a big fan. You can go to sportsgossip.com to check out a picture of Nikki Topless, topless. And let's just say she has great cans. Dave, what's next?
Dick Vitale signs extension with ESPN.
The legendary college basketball announcer who is 78 years old just signed a new deal with ESPN, which will keep him there through the 2021 season. This is Vitale's 40th year with ESPN, and Dickie V is just as lively as ever. Dickie V is awesome with a capital A, and I'm glad he's back with ESPN. Speaking of not awesome with a capital A, let's talk about Ivan's theme song. Ivan, you there?
Yes, Milosh, Kevin, you did not enjoy my theme song.
Ivan, you got ripped off by Psy.
What do you mean?
Well, all Mr. Gangnam Style did for you is take a famous children's song and change the lyrics.
What is this song you're talking about?
It's Little Bunny Foo Foo, you dummy. You got ripped off by Gangnam Style, and I love it.
You son of a bitch, Dave. I am going to kick your ass, and then I'm going to kick Sai's ass. Nobody does this to Ivan Babushka.
What do you mean? They just did it.
Let me rephrase. Nobody does this to Ivan Babushka and gets away with it.
All right, Ivan, good luck getting that revenge. Dave, what's next?
Charlotte Flair to undergo surgery for a ruptured breast implant.
Yes, the 32-year-old daughter of the Hall of Fame wrestler Ric Flair will undergo surgery to repair a ruptured breast implant. Surgery will take place later this month at the end of the WWE European Tour. If that means she's going to be wrestling with a ruptured breast implant, this is one tough chick.
I once ruptured my testicle playing nude paintball.
Well, Dave, then you should definitely pay attention to the final story. Give it to us.
St. Louis Cardinals buy ballistic cups from local fan after Molina's groin injury.
The Cardinals reached out to the owner of a ballistic-grade cup maker to buy 3 sets of nutshells after Yadier Molina was struck in the groin by a 102-mile-per-hour fastball that has him out for a month. The Cardinals heard about the nutshells from the Orioles, who currently use them. The Cleveland Indians also use them. If you ask me, every team in the league should be using these things. If I was a catcher, I would demand it. You can go to sportsgossip.com to watch a video of some psychopath who let another guy shoot him in the nuts with a gun while wearing this cup. You can go to sportsgossip.com to read all about this article and watch that video. And Dave, before your next paintball match, I highly recommend you go out and get yourself some nutshells. Alright, that'll wrap things up on the sportsgossip.com podcast. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank my announcers Smokin' Dave and Ivan Babushka for calling in. Remember, for these stories and much, much more, all you need to do is go to sportsgossip.com. Our next podcast is Tuesday, and until then, we'll see you next time.